I tell you, it was so uncomfortable. It had taken me about 3 hours to get there, and the whole place was just bloody strange. Nothing can prepare you, trust me. You can read all the stuff on the website, all the articles, all the briefing papers, all of it. And then suddenly you're standing on the bridge and you see the southwestern edge of the city, and it looks just different. No tall buildings, no billboards, no cars. It's really quiet. You can hear the water and the wind and the birds, really different from the old city. They put you on a bus once you've crossed the bridge, electric, more like a tram really, not like any tram or bus you've seen, mind. There are loads of them crisscrossing the city, all decorated differently, some with funky paint jobs, some covered in, well, stuff. I saw one while I was in the cafe that looked like it was made from seashells. I mean, mad. Why did they do that? I'd arrived here early, even though it had taken me bloody ages to get there. That's one of the things the briefing papers got right, I suppose. And the directions are good once you get on the island, not just the physical signposts and tech. Whole place is wired, you know, high speed. Had a good signal everywhere, all the time, so I had no trouble finding the cafe. Just grabbed a table by the window. The waitress gave me a couple of minutes, so I ordered a cappuccino and a pastry. When she brought over them, I asked how much, and she said, get this, no charge. My face must have asked the question, because she said, no, it wasn't a special offer or a visitor treat or anything. No one pays. Ever. In Visco, you just walk into a cafe, ask what you want, and it's given to you. Given. See? I told you it was weird. So, frankly, it made me just more uncomfortable. I was there to meet with a woman called Dr. Farnaby. I'd never met her before, but I'd done the background, obviously, and her profile gave me the creeps. Well, maybe that's not quite right. I think if I met her under normal circumstances, I probably wouldn't even have given her a second thought. But these weren't normal circumstances. I mean, my cover story was good, very good. But there was something about Farnaby's profile that made my hands clammy. She didn't, not on paper at least, she didn't look like she should be able to cause me too much trouble. No corporate background, no track record in finance, no investment history. But the more I read about what she's been through to get this far, the more I couldn't make it add up. That court case back at the beginning, she took on the entire establishment. Still, whatever miracles they might have pulled off to get it started, it was obvious from the outside that Visco couldn't possibly survive for long. Not without some sort of plug into the machine. They had to stay connected. It's all well and good setting up a radical experiment in sustainable living on an island. It's terribly impressive, you're sure, to have attracted so many people to give it a go. And the energy systems are amazing, and the food solutions are really clever and all that. But let's face it, they can't build their own electric buses. They can't manufacture the drugs they need to stay well. They can't make their own robots. So they'll still be dependent on the rest of us, the evil capitalist system that they think they're running away from. Which is where I come in. I'm there to offer them money. Lots of money. The cover story is simple. Investors everywhere have noticed what they're up to. And ever since that Visco court case, there have been people all over the world wanting to replicate the model. So there's obviously lots of demand for this sort of thing. And where there's demand, there's surely a return. My investors, all of whom have wonderful environmental credentials, and all of whom have very long-term perspectives. None of this are in for a quick buck. My investors want to work with the Visco administration to put the city onto a sustainable footing, in both senses of the word, and I'm meeting with Dr. Farnaby, who sits on the city's finance committee and is close buddies with the chief honcho, to see if we can do some sort of deal. That's the cover story, anyway.